GT Holidays, South India's #1 travel brand.
Join the team. Which values you and your thoughts hiring now?
Bizarre is the word to describe this film. To enjoy this film, you need to do two things. The second thing is you need to buy into the bizarreness. And the first thing is you need to be patient until you realize that this is a bizarre film. I did both and I had fun in an otherwise inconsistent and makes no sense film. Hi, this is Galata Plus. I'm Kairam Vaashi and this is about Vakkantham Vamsi's Extraordinary Man. The most simplified one line of this film would be that the hero, whose name is Abhinay for obvious reasons, since childhood wants to wake up as a new person every single day, and thus his mother identifies an actor in him. Fast forward a few years and now he's a junior artist, an extra, but he will go to extraordinary lengths for appreciation, acknowledgement, and simply to impress his audience. And thus, an ordinary man becomes an extraordinary man, like in the hero's journey. But that is not what this is about. Remember, bizarre is the word. There's a Tamil speaking gangster whose name is Selvamani, but in his heart, he is Sivamani and he likes playing the drums. And there's another gangster whose name is Nero and he aptly sets ablaze a village while casually playing the mouth organ. So you see, there are gangsters who are also artists, like in Karthik Subbaraj's Jigarthanda films. I guess the film's also saying all the world's a stage and we, the critics, are failed artists. Speaking of which, there is also a track about ego and pride. An Inspector General of Police in this film is purely driven by ego and pride. And Nero is similar too. He wants his nemesis to grow in stature because eventually he will then kill a man of that stature and also the actor in him. And then there's the heroine character, Likhita, who leads what seems to be an MNC, and everything that happens around her company, including how Abhinay lands up there and exits from it, is so ridiculous, and that's the portion where you need to be patient. The hero's Amma and Nana become his Attagaru and Mavagaru, and the hero himself becomes a cop carrying around his waist a half holster with no revolver in it. And the most important Maviran-like fantasy element. And for this film, I guess we can call it the Maisamma element. I cannot tell you what it is, but because of that, in the second half at least, the director very clearly tells us that there is a film which is following a script. Just to confuse you even more, let me say this. This film is all about Abhinay narrating a story to Selvamani. In the story that he is narrating, there is Abhinay's family story, his love story, the story of a film, and also a story that exists outside that film's script. Bizarre, as I told you. I truly wonder how Vakkantham Vamsi got this idea, wrote the script, and eventually got it produced as well. It's an adbhutam in itself. Just in case you feel I'm being sarcastic, let me be very clear. I had fun watching this film. The nonsensical first song, all the bits about the heroine's company, Rao Ramesh's comedy, and surprisingly, the lack of conviction in it. All of these had me write off this film in the first hour, although there were some humorous portions here and there. But I kept getting into the zone one step at a time as the film kept giving me more stuff. Would you believe it if I say that there's also a puppet show element to this film? The film is criminally overstuffed, and I guess it was my cheat day, so more was good. Slowly, Rao Ramesh's comedy and Rohini's character as the Amma settled in and eventually became hilarious. The light-hearted, casual nature of the film and its hero, Abhinay, works in its own favor. The film, almost for its entirety, actually never takes itself seriously. The hero keeps reminding us about how the film's going to end, and I began to feel that this is actually a satire on commercial cinema. There's the compulsory foreign location song and a dance number to showcase again Sreeleela's dancing skills, both of which fall well within the idea of the satire. Abhinay actually becomes the hero to a village, but he is least bothered about it. The other strength of this film film is some of the commercial scenes which are done intentionally in the manner they're done. Like the disappointed with his son dad trope and the comedy with the hero's family, not a new idea, especially for Telugu cinema, but it worked well. Like the Na Talam song in the jail or the scene where Nithiin does impressions of other Telugu actors. I went into this film not having watched any of their promotional material, nor did I have a lot of information about the cast and crew. I only knew that Nithiin was the hero of this film. But while I was watching the film, I could quickly recognize that the music had a certain quality to it. The Maisamma song, the background score with the ghatam, violin, mridangam, nadaswaram kept telling me something, and later when I realized that it was actually Harris Jairaj, I had a mostly happy and a slightly sad feeling about it. Speaking of the film being overstuffed, there's enough and more wordplay in the dialogues from start to finish. The only places where I did not enjoy it were those 5-6 lines where it stooped too low and became crassy. I don't know if this film would work for everyone, but for me, this was way better than a bad Allari Naresh film and fell just short of a good Ravi Teja film, if you know what I mean.
GT Holidays, South India's #1 travel brand.
Join the team which values you and your thoughts. Hiring now.